Okay, there we go. Yeah, you read the title. I see a little bit of comments about it. Yes, it's just going to be monster discussion. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to be talking about the monsters. Yeah, and if you could see from the test and everything, I added some of the fucking gifs that I have here. Yeah, yeah, I want to talk about the monsters now because, I'm starting to get very worried with the monsters and everything and the entire thing with the game because I actually got to talk to someone who works on, Pillar Chase, and I talked to him about the killer roster, and he had a few things to say. And I'm looking through it. I'm just gonna lower the background music so you guys can hear me a lot better. So, yeah, no, I will have to remove a good chunk of the killers. I don't want to, but I'm really on the edge of having to because I talked to him, and some of the big ones that he pointed out were, Flumpty, Alice, and I think some of the Nintendo-based characters, like the Horror Brews. So, yeah, like characters like Mr. Sist, they'll probably have to go. Alice I already removed because of things with the creator, and Flumpty mainly because of drama with the creator, which I already spoken of, but I'm still thinking it might bite me in the ass later anyways. If you're wondering who the person was, it was Apple Time, the voice of Valum. Well, no, I already have a small start. Like, we already have the 6 main killers as, like, our starting roster. We just have everything else planned because of how fast I do my thing compared to how everyone else in the development team develops shit. I kind of just have a faster pace at times. Yeah, we already got the 6. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about Potentate, mainly just because he is he is the weirder one out of the main 3. Because he had a couple changes. I finally dealt on his final change, and I actually want to talk about lore stuff about him. And yes, he has lore stuff. Like a lot of lore stuff actually. Yeah, with the OCs, however, I don't really like most of the OC characters we have. That's actually where I get into Potentate, because Potentate, surprise, surprise, is an OC EXE now instead of 2011X. And Jesus Christ, I accidentally made him very depressing. Well, in the sense of what he, and like, truly is in the end. Let me just get myself a cup of coffee real quick. Okay, so I just want to speak of Potentate right now. Potentate is not 2011X. In the lore, he was made to try and be a copy of 2011X, but ended up becoming what he is now. Originally, he was going to be it, but somehow, or some reason, it didn't work. He wasn't living. He wasn't a living, breathing being. And so, the entity had to result in, or did something and resulted in giving him the crimson, like, emerald that is now basically in his chest. And the design thing is 2011X ends up having the X on his chest, which also goes on to Lord X. However, the reason why Potentate has that similar X is because that is a scar of where that emerald was placed into him. It is not to resemble Lord X in any sense, like, any way. It's just, like, really... It's just a coincidence, that's all it is. And the rest of Potentate is his personality and everything else. He was made to resemble 2011X, but I'm going to say this straight on. He is not. He is not even close. Personality-wise, you all know 2011X, the cheeky little bastard. Potentate is a lot more aggressive and likes to get shit done. Because in his words, and yes, I've actually made dialogue for him and everything, he just wants to relax. He doesn't like where he is. He doesn't like feeling the pain of killing people. He has his own, like, conscience, basically. He is, like, his own person. However, killing people is, like, a necessity, not only because of the entity, but also, like, a curse to him. Because that emerald that got placed into his chest, surprise, surprise, is a curse. And those rings aren't, like, just a gameplay mechanic. They're also a literal standpoint for his character. For that emerald has him constantly going after people for blood. Those rings are just a fucking, like, physical representation of the fucking blood and energy that he's consuming from killing people. He doesn't want to do it. He's actually probably, if you took away all that shit from him, he would be really goddamn nice. However, he does it because he can't control himself. The entity's not going to do anything about it. He likes how effective he is. It's just, yeah. He's not good. He's not... Mentally, he is not very well because of this entire predicament. And I just wanted to say that because I know a lot of people are going to be like, why is his name Potentate or whatever? Because he's basically an entirely new character at this point. I took the entire idea that the entity wanted to make his own EXE based on 2011X because he likes the concept of those monsters. And he's like, hey, that's going to work perfectly. That's gonna work solid doodly. And he accidentally made Potentate, and yeah, no, he's in the group of killers in the project that do want to kill themselves. There are a good amount of characters in the project that do want to off themselves. And Potentate is right up there, right up the alley with Jerry. Mainly just because he wants the pain to stop, and he doesn't like the entire curse thing that he has. Like, at all. Plus, I will have that in with his design, like how most of the time whenever he's using abilities, like he'll have like this fake grin on his face, which I might actually make that into another thing, actually, with the character, where it's like his mouth is shaped into this giant wide grin, but you can tell that that was modified to be a grin, and that's not actually him smiling, it's just that's how he was formed, that's how he was sculpted by the entity. And I wanted that to resemble with his teeth, where his teeth don't actually have a smile. You can definitely tell. Because, like, the shape of his mouth will, like, look like a grin and everything. But the teeth, like, you can tell with, like, the teeth and everything that it's, like, not really a smile. Something, I don't know. However, I do also want to get into his relationship with other characters, because there will be a thing where in the lobby you can actually find the monsters, and I want to make it so you can actually interact with some of them. For instance, Flumpty and Animatic will be up there where you can actually interact with them, like talk to them like fucking NPCs. And I want him to be in there, and he's just like, he's just trying to enjoy himself as long as possible before the game starts up again. And he will just like not want to talk to you at all. Because, like, all you remind him, because basically you as the player, you're the vessels that control the characters. You control the survivors and the monsters. And all you remind him of is the fucking pain that he feels during the sessions, during the games. And of course, that also gets into his skins, which I do also want to talk about those. Skins are also technically characters. Well, a certain set of them, not all skins. Like, you'll see some skins, they're not all, like, actual things, but there are a set amount of skins that are actually do have their own lore, and are technically they're separate characters. It's just they don't act, like, as actual separate entities, and just end up being skins in the end. And that gets into a lot of them, like Rewrite, for example. He has his entirely own thing. He's in here just because, why the fuck not? Just like Animatic or whatever. Because he finds the thing of free will just to be annoying. So he finds the fact of, like, him being able to kill the vessels and everything just really fun and punishing. It's just with Potentate, poor fucking guy. He was just made to do what he was made for, and that just ended up, not going his way. Now, these discussions are going to be very quick because it's just going to be me talking a little bit about the characters and then just leaving it there. I don't know. I just made these because I thought that would be fun, and also talking about Potentate would also kind of be fun. Because, like, comparing him to 2011X, yeah, no, they're not similar whatsoever. Oh, no, yeah, no, if he killed the crying child, oh, Jesus, he would not be very happy. I also would like to have, like, different voice lines whenever. I'm still on the edge of adding voice lines. And maybe instead having, like, little text bubbles or something like that with, like, an Undertale type, like, voice shit where they talk. I might add that instead because I think that would be cooler. But if there was, yeah, no, you would have different, like, things where you genuinely say sorry or whatever. The kill animation might be a little overkill with some of the other characters, like the crying child, for example, because so far, his kill animation is one of the more brutal ones. It's a lot quicker than others, but it's more brutal, to say the least. Basically, all I'm going to say is he stomps your head in and cracks your fucking skull like a coconut. I will have like the classic skins, since the classic skin's just going to be 2011X. It will have an entirely different personality and everything. And I will have like little tiny hints, like different voice lines and everything. Like he'll behave differently. He'll like have different like facial expressions, everything compared to Potentate. And I like how Potentate's name is ironic, because it's supposed to be like a ruler over multiple different people, yet at the same time, he doesn't like that title. He doesn't feel like he fits that title, and he doesn't want that title. But since he's supposed to be mimicking the character 2011X, he ends up just having that. Which I find really fucking funny to me. I don't know why. I like making him how he is. I like how fucking kind of sad he is. I might change him in the future, who knows, but so far that's kind of Potentate now. Anyways, that's the end of my discussion with Potentate. He can go fuck himself. But yeah. Yeah, how is he married? Yeah, how's the entity a married married man? It's just because he just finds that enjoyable. Because he has like different. He behaves differently under different pressures and different scenarios. For instance, this is his game. He is basically a god here, and he's trying to make like the game entertaining for you, the player, you. He knows you exist. He knows this is a game that you are playing, and he's going to make it as fun as physically possible for you. So he will bring in everything to get as many people to play. That's why there's a Sonic character. That's why he's based off 2011X, because he knows people likes that character. He sees it all the fucking time in games like this, and he'll make sure that he'll have a character like that so that people come and play the fucking game. That's also why there's so many new characters, because he wants variety, because he also knows that people like variety. He also knows like people like different art styles and different things, because that's another reason why like everything looks so much more different and less realistic, because he knows people like stylized things more than just realism. And he makes stuff actually scary sometimes, or goofy, because he knows that that'll get more people into it. Oh, you want a creepy killer? Okay. Do you want a, like, funny killer? Okay. Here you go. Have both. He wants everything to fit what anyone needs. He wants as many people to play this game as physically possible. Oh no, they will. They will absolutely. There's a bunch of monsters that don't like the entity, and that's basically their entire thing with the character. I can like, oh, there would be so fun if like, ironically, they're like just average things that the monsters say. Like, they just constantly say, like, I don't want to fucking do this. Or, like, they're just really bored. They don't want to do this. They hate doing this. Like, that's just, like, their idle shit that they're saying, like, rarely. Just out of character, but sometimes in character when it comes around to it. I know Null is in the, like, part where he just hates it here, but he's just like, I can't do anything about it. And it's just like the entity does not give a shit about the vessels, but he loves you, the player. The only, like, the reason why he's even doing this in the first place is because of you, so of course he's gonna treat you like the finest guest he has ever had. Yo, they do. That's why they take their time in the fucking lobby in the middle of games when they're in their NPC state in the lobby. That's why they're like basically chilling and everything. They just taking a break so they can just take a breather. Because for them, it's like they're getting puppeteered around every fucking match. And the survivors have it even worse because they're not even in the lobby. They're not even free-willed. They're just basically in a storage closet frozen until like the game starts. The monsters are the only one that get free will between matches. And characters like Flumpty know that, and that's why like they're just gonna be in the lobby just kind of stern-faced because he knows that if he didn't agree to this, then he could have been really fucked over. And he kind of just brought himself here on accident and just ended up, you know, here permanently. I'm still going around with, like, if I should make Flumpty stronger than the entity or not, or, like, other characters, but so far, eh. And there's other characters that got in here that got promised a lot of things. Like, for instance, Ouija got promised more victims and more people to join his army. Hourglass was basically resurrected and told to have a better life where his mother needs him. Characters like Ollie were just dragged in, manipulated mentally, and just put in. Null was just dragged in. Fake Peppino was also just kind of dragged in after ignoring the entity because Fake Peppino was brain dead. Yeah, characters like that. Only characters I genuinely enjoy here are like Sleepwalker, he enjoys it here. Animatic thinks it's just a fun little game. Why did the music just cut off? Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, some of the characters genuinely enjoy it. Okay, it just did it again. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be consistent, but... Oh no, the entity just wants to get them in as, like, neatly as possible without, like, making anything, like... Because he doesn't like doing more work. He doesn't like wasting his time. So, like, characters like Potentate, where it's like 2011X didn't want to join. It's like, God fucking damn it, I gotta make someone. Like, that pisses him off. That's why he makes the deal, so he can just get the actual character in instead of making a replica. Because, again, example, Potentate, it's not a perfect replica of 2011X. He's basically an entirely new character. That shows you well that he has a trouble time actually replicating other characters. There's so many other characters that you just, like, kind of dragged in. And sometimes, like, he just doesn't have time to make a deal, and he just takes them in. Kara, he actually got in by promising her free fucking will. And guess what she got? No free will absolutely every single time she gets in a game. So, yeah, no, he will lie as well. I will say that. The entity will lie, and he will lie to you, the player, as well, just so that you can stay. He has no problem doing that at all. He has no problem. Yeah, he likes doing things more easily. Oh, if they disobey, yeah, 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 they won't do it again. That's all I'm gonna say. They won't do it again. But you know what? I might just... Okay, what the fuck's going on? Why is it just... Oh, that's why my computer's about to fucking combust. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, why, what, why does it, okay, I'm gonna switch it to this one and see if this works. Is this better? I wanna see if this is somewhat better. Okay, so, okay, okay, almost got it, there we go. Okay, so, he wouldn't bitch slap. No, he would just make sure that they understand, like a kind of like a fatherly sterning, basically. That's more like how he would do it. No, well, he doesn't really need to like torture them or anything. He already does anyways for them being there. It's just more what he needs, what he can do basically is just tell them, hey, stop it, okay, stop it. And it's just his presence is all enough to scare the shit out of some of the other monsters. Again, most of the monsters, when you actually sit down and look at them, they're not very eh. For instance, like characters like Flumpty, they act more childish, and you even got like Hourglass, who's an actual technical child. Same with Kara, but at least Kara has like shit that actually, you know, makes them a little bit more mature. It's just so many characters are actually on like more of the impressionable side of being more down to childish. Yeah, they're just more child. Like Fake Lupino, there's another example. They're not really a child. It's just they're not smart, and they're easily impressionable, like way too easily. It's actually just how they just let him drag them in, anyways. Okay. Yeah, probably. That would also kind of be funny. Like, I won't say that the entity isn't, like, just funny or not. It's like, no, he's funny, too. He's funny. He's terrifying, but he's also funny. He likes doing things. Then again, he technically is also a father, so... Yeah, no, he's also technically a father, so... I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to talk about. I kind of started this without thinking about anything, and now I'm just kind of stuck here. I might end stream, not gonna lie. I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to do. Okay. I still need to, like... Yeah, I still need to know how to, redirect stream. Oh, no, he does. No, the entity is basically just me. Essentially, he's just me. The entity is just me, except, you know, the entity. I base the entity more off of me most of the time. Especially his mental state. We both have shitty mental states. And yeah, no, we both also laugh at dad jokes. He would make dad jokes and everything. It's like you would watch someone like be in excruciating pain, like their fucking leg is broken, screaming on the ground. He's like, "Hey, you want to hear a dad joke?" Yeah, but I think I'll just end stream because I don't know what else to talk about. I just kind of started and thought, hey, I'm gonna talk about Potentate, and yeah, and just ended up doing this. So yeah, it's not really a Potentate stream. It's just more just me talking about the project and not drawing anything like this. I haven't been doing anything on here. Anything. There. At least I did something. There we go. Anyways, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna end the stream. Bye.